I believe that if we are honest with ourselves, that the most fascinating problem in the world is who am I? What do you mean? What do you feel when you say the word I myself?
I wanna fly a train! I give a fuck! Oh, please, hey, what's going on? You keep using that phone. You just fucking thinking this. Oh, please, hey, what's going on? I give a fuck! Oh, please, hey, what's going on? Yeah, you can't get out of it! Oh, yeah! Oh, please, I'm trying to get friends. I am familiar with the fact that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swims up and bites you on the ass. Like, just kidding. My new catchphrase is, I don't give a fuck.
It's asking a lot to believe that the problem is going to fix itself.
Guess what, bitch?
Our technology and our numbers have both reached a state where inadvertently we can pose a danger to the global environment, especially through the atmosphere.
The whales have a 15-foot penis. You a pervert or something? Okay.
Now, nobody pretends to understand everything about the global climate.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself.
There are feedbacks, some of which you warm the earth a little bit, and the tendency will be to further increase the temperature, so-called positive feedback.
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight, we are going to be going over a Christian's message to atheists. And what he's basically going to do is he's going to claim that he was an atheist before, like in high school when he was all rebellious and shit. And then he's going to try to convince us.
Compel you to get the fuck out of here.
Shoot, notifications are on. But for some reason it's not showing up. Or wait, no, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm so sorry about that. There we go. Could have sworn I had those. I could have sworn that I had those things. Oh shit. Technical difficulties with GE. Anyways, tonight we're going to be going over a Christian's message to atheists. And he's going to say that he started out as an atheist, like in high school when he was being all rebellious and shit. And then he is going to claim that he can prove God. And
we got a new member.
he's going to claim that he can prove God's existence to us, and not necessarily that we should convert to Christianity.
Listen,
but
this much money only secures your seat in hell.
not necessarily that we should convert to Christianity, but that we should highly consider at least accepting that God exists. And you're going to see why I'm going to say that it's specifically the Christian version of God that he wants us to acknowledge. But he's going to give us some mathematical reasons as to why to believe, and they're like, I don't know, it's not really math, because you can obviously tell that he doesn't know what in the fuck he's talking about, but he's trying to tell us what he thinks, I guess. But in any case, tonight we are going to be looking at his message to atheists. So if you want to fuck around and find out why we should accept that God exists, then please stay tuned. All right, so we do have some super chats to get to first before we get on into the show tonight. Do want to welcome Jason Kulisike.
This much money,
I think I said that right. For becoming a new member, he's part of the Mafiosos. Thank you so much there, Jason, for becoming a member. We got Daniel M. who says, David says good night. That's so awesome to hear from David. Tell David that I tell him good night. You have an awesome night there, bud. And I guess, we'll see you next week. Ned Silver says, yeet, yeet. That was like nails on a chalkboard for KC over there. Quentin Van Bowen says, second super chat of the night, just sending in my weekly tithe. Probably won't stick around hanging out with a friend. Hey, Quentin, this thing's going to be here for the foreseeable future, so you go hang out with your friend. Well, you can watch it later or not watch it later. Just do whatever you want to do there, bud. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So, if you guys don't know, here on the channel, any of the revenue that we make here, a portion of that is going to be going to charities. We haven't picked out the charities this month, but we are going to be, letting the Skeptic Mafia, the Mafiosos.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
That's what I said. Yeah. So, we're going to be allowing the Mafiosos to pick at least one of the charities this month that we donate to, since it's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. We're probably going to be donating to a charity along those lines. So if you want to help us donate to charity, send a super chat, become a Skeptic Mafia member like Jason, or watch our channel. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am extremely profane with all of the racial slurs thrown in. I don't know if you guys have counted on my videos how many racial slurs I use, but I feel like you should start a count as to how many of them I use, because obviously
0.
Yes, honey, it is 0, but I'm just according to YouTube, I use racial slurs frequently. But I hate it when I get like one little ice thing in my mouth. Yeah, the one little ice chip. And it's like, fuck. Anyways, all right. So now with all that boilerplate stuff out of the way, y'all know what's first. We structure this stream pretty solidly. Today I learned, that's right. That's fine. Today I learned. Woo! Maybe I should make the Today I Learned song, that one song that's been going crazy on TikTok lately. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be fucking stupid, violet gray. Yeah, anyways, I know the words, I was just fucking it up for comedic effect. So anyways, first up on Today I Learned tonight, we've got people can distinguish dictators from democratic leaders based on their facial appearance alone. If that's not scientific evidence for resting bitch face, I'm not sure what else it could be. Honey, do you want to be Mike tonight? Okay. There we go. Casey's mic'd. So we had Laurel Sagan, who just did a super chat. Thank you so much there, Laurel. But I'm guessing Casey's gonna have a lot to say about the message tonight. But what do you think, honey? Do you think resting bitch face has been scientifically proven?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody knows resting bitch face is a thing, so. All right. Next up on Today I Learned that the melting of the polar ice polar ice is warping the Earth's crust itself beneath, not just the sea levels. So like it's fucking things up like at every single level here. It's fucking up the sea levels, it's fucking up the crust. We're fucked. And of course, if you ask Mo Brooks from Alabama,
there's just rocks falling.
It's just rocks falling in the water. Yeah. I wonder how he explains the Earth's crust warping.
I mean, he did give you a visual with the glass and dropping rocks in a glass, and it raised the water in the glass. So I mean, in the scale of a glass of water, it's legit.
It's legit.
But I mean, the amount of rocks that would need to be dropped in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. Mo Brooks is definitely a dipshit. All right. And then we're going to try to move through this because the video is about 8 minutes long tonight. And I have like a few comments that I want to go over too. So finally on Today I Learned, we have President Nixon ordered the Secret Service guarding the White House to have fancy uniforms, similar to what palace guards wear in other countries. Revealed in 1970, almost no one liked the new uniforms, including the U.S. Secret Service agents. The uniforms were sold to an Iowa marching band.
You know they're too fucking fancy if a marching band is wearing them.
The Iowa marching band was like, do you see them suits? They are some fancy shit. That guy right there plays trumpet. I know it for sure. I don't know if you guys can believe it, but my fat ass was in a marching band, in my high school's marching band, and I played trumpet, so I know what I'm talking about.
Did you wear the fancy costumes?
I did wear the costumes. I did wear the uniform, yes. It was incredibly uncomfortable.
That's a lot. It's hard to imagine you in that way.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't date the band people.
You didn't date the band people? Well, you married one.
I married the band person and the science nerd.
Geek. Yep.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although, to be fair, when I was in the 11th grade, I took an advanced biology class, like one of the AP biology classes that you can get dual credit for in high school. Uh-huh. It was just me and 3 other chicks in there. It was a pretty good year.
Oh, okay.
For my high school self. Anyways, that's going to be it for the Today I Learned section. And y'all know what's next?
Comments?
Yes! Comments of the day! Prepare to face palm yourself in the next week! Shh. I always pop one string off of its groove.
That's because you just get a little too hyper.
I know. I get a little bit too far with it.
You're like a bull in a china shop.
I am just like a bull in a china shop. That's right, honey. Okay, so the comments this week are going to follow a certain theme, and that's going to be that they're not coming from my channel. They're coming from Trent Horn's channel. And they're not comments like about atheism necessarily. They're comments about me. Because I had a conversation with Trent Horn recently about the historicity of the Gospel of Luke. Everybody knows that the Gospel of Luke is not a historical source. It's not written as if it was history or anything like that. It's just not historical. But anyways, I had a conversation with him. It was on my channel, and then he posted it on his channel. And the comments on his channel are just far out. So we're going to go over some of the more substantial ones. I got one that's just kind of a throwaway. But we're going to cover some of the more substantial comments that I got. So
Now,
this one's
these are like the real Christian-y people, right?
these are the very Christian-y Catholic people.
The high moral ground people.
Yeah, one person said, I would hope that GE would come in here with some kind of knowledge about Catholicism.
Dumbass.
I know. Fuck it. If I was only Catholic. Wait a second. I was for the longest time, so I kind of feel like I know at least a little bit. I mean, I wasn't
a very good one.
I wasn't a very good Catholic. I mean, but I was Catholic. Like it, you know. If I wasn't trained well, it's the Catholic Church's fault.
I mean, yeah, Catholics don't read the Bible.
All that beer,
That's incredibly true.
It's really not.
Jason Kolosike
Yes.
says Christian slurs don't count. More of them, please. All right. So we got Oisin of Fianna. I don't know what that's a reference to, but they said history as we know it is a relatively recent development. The whole footnote endnote thing is new. To criticize ancient writers because they don't follow modern methodologies is to engage in the employment of historical anachronism as criticism. Still, so far, good conversation. I do like how they ended with good conversation, but they're bringing up something that I never did. Like in that conversation, I painstakingly went over how Luke compares to other writers of that time. And so I didn't compare Luke to like modern historical methodologies. I compared Luke to the methodologies employed by historians of the first century. So I really don't understand why this person's bringing this up as if this is a point that I'm making. I feel like a lot of them don't even listen to me when I talk.
They did this comment wrong anyway. This is not how you compliment sandwich.
This what? Oh, this is not how you compliment sandwich. So you start out with something nice and then you throw in the shitty part and then you end it with something nice.
Yes.
Everybody knows how to do that except for Christians, apparently.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
Uh-oh, Laurel Sagan made God cry by saying, "Hi, GE and KC, hope you're well. I wanted to let you know that I listened to the Daily Bible podcast overnight as I sleep. I hope that's a compliment. Well, it's kind of relaxing."
I can see how I would put you to sleep.
Yeah, I think that is, I mean, that's
Hopefully you're absorbing it like through your sleep. Like hopefully it's some of it's, getting in there.
I'm sure it is. I mean, I know I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot just from doing the Bible study with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you keep me like balanced, I feel.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for you, it would not be entertaining.
Would it not?
No.
I mean, people just straight up listen to people, monotonely read the Bible. So
yeah, that's some bullshit. We don't play that game on this channel.
We don't do that shit. All right. Next on the comments, we have Andrew Ferg, who says, we have an entire collection of quote unquote contemporary sources called the New Testament. No other ancient treatise even comes close to this level of authoritative corroboration. Would he be more convinced if the contents of the New Testament were all left as separate works instead of collected in a canonized volume? Well, so just to clarify here, I do take the individual books of the Bible individually. I don't take the New Testament as like an entire section of the Bible together as like one thing. They were definitely all written by different authors, with the exception of the authentic epistles by Paul. Everything else was written by different authors, or the same author wrote a couple books. Like, let's see, the author of
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
The author of 2 Timothy wrote Titus, I think, and is different than the author of 1 Timothy. I believe. Like 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy are 2 different authors. Like
it's irrelevant. They're still not contemporary.
They're still not. Yeah, that's right. They're still not contemporary. That's true. Jane Pusecker had a super chat saying, "Hey, GE and KC, I am feeling better, so I hope to make the hangout this month. The first church I went to was Presbyterian." Oh, that's cool. Awesome. But yeah, so just to reiterate, I'm fine taking the book, individual books of the Bible on their own merits, which aren't all that great. Still not contemporary though. That's right. The closest you could hope for is Paul. Paul would be the closest contemporary, but even he doesn't say that he met Jesus like in a historical, like earthly way, just in a celestial way. Christopher Wentling says, I also was very confused when he maintains that the apostles didn't ever meet Jesus. It seems to me if they had not met Jesus, Paul would have said, my experience of Jesus is the same as the other apostles, when in fact Paul is somewhat defensive about the fact that he never met Jesus except on the road to Damascus, but in Paul's opinion that did not detract from the fact that Paul was a true disciple of Jesus. Well, now, Paul never claims to be a disciple of Jesus. He only ever claims to be an apostle. But also in Paul's epistles, he talks about how he is just the same as the other apostles. Now, in the Pauline Creed, he says one who was abnormally born, meaning that because of Paul's past of persecuting the Christian church, and then Jesus came to him and he turned a new leaf. Like, that's what that means. It's not that, you know, Paul never met Jesus on earth and that's how he's different than the other apostles. Paul's different from the other apostles because he used to persecute Christians. That's how he's different, and he makes that pretty plain in his epistles. I do maintain that none of the apostles ever met Jesus or were disciples, like direct disciples of Jesus. Now, this is primarily coming from Paul, who never indicates anybody as being a disciple of Jesus or even having met Jesus in a historical, like earthly way, only in a celestial way. Because if Paul is the same as the other apostles and Paul only ever had a celestial vision of Jesus, then the other apostles also had celestial visions of Jesus. It didn't matter if they knew him on earth or not.
Mr. Shigura in the chat said Paulogia is greater than Paul, and I concur.
I do agree with that. Paul's a pretty awesome dude.
Ogia.
Well, yeah, Paulogia.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is the throwaway one. And it's really simple. He looks so greasy. You know, I feel like this is like a racial like slur or something right here, or some kind of like racial thing. Me being a quarter Puerto Rican, I feel like I'm being racially assaulted by this comment.
There is no way they would know that.
You know, I mean, people can tell when you're a quarter Puerto Rican. I'm just saying.
Nobody can tell you're anything but Southern white boy.
Southern white boy. I don't really think that it's a racial kind of comment, but saying that I look greasy, like I thought I looked fine in it. I was wearing like it was kind of like that light blue shirt. I had glasses on, and I mean, I didn't have like all like fucking weird ass hair. Maybe I needed a haircut. I've been needing a haircut for like a week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I just needed a haircut, but I don't really think I ever look greasy.
I mean, I don't think you look greasy either.
I mean, you live with me, so you should know.
I mean, I should. I mean, I do know.
All right, next up is Jungle King. Jungle King says, I don't know why Trent wasted his time on trying to speak to this uncouth, blasphemous
Drinking all that beer, GE.
prick who is pretending to be all mature and decent, who is falsely trying to refute the truth for the sake of deceiving his own audience. I'm not trying to deceive anybody. That's just a bold-faced lie right there.
Also, I love how he calls you uncouth and a prick, like just one word between the two. Also, he spelled prick wrong. But that's...
So I know that I can come across somewhat abrasive in some of my videos. And in response to Jungle King here, Trent did come on there and say that he looked at my channel, looked at other conversations that I had, and knew that he could have a decent conversation with me beforehand. And I really don't think that my demeanor during any kind of conversation is false advertisement, or me trying to act as if I'm decent and mature. I feel like I am decent and mature. I just make I make videos for entertainment purposes. Like I'm not just gonna sit there and be, you know, like boring and change my entire attitude. Like what you see on video is me just turned up a little bit more, and you can even ask KC about that because it's true. It's me just turned up a little bit in certain respects.
Plus, there's a difference in like how your demeanor would be when you're having a conversation with a Christian than how you're doing a response video. Like, it just depends on the type of thing that you're doing, what your demeanor is, and it doesn't mean it's fake. It just means like so everybody in life behaves differently depending on where you are. If you're really comfortable and you're with your friends, you're one way. If people are more formal with their parents, you know, if your parents are really strict and you're not really friendly with them, you're going to be different than you are when you're with your friends. You're going to behave differently at work than you do when you're at the beach. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely act different at work. I mean, I don't joke around as much as I do just in normal conversation. But I mean, that's because I'm being professional and shit. I don't think that joking and stuff at work is exactly, at least where I work, I don't feel like it's necessary, you know?
yeah.
All right, next up is Purple Pill Philosophy. He says, GE is pretty much low-hanging fruit. Debating one like him is tantamount to debating a young earth creationist or flat earther, but dialogue is always a better substitute. Surprising that a mean-spirited village atheist like him was up for it. Village atheist? Do I really strike everybody as a village atheist?
I mean, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if it's does that mean idiot?
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think
like village
so.
idiot, village atheist, like the idiot atheist.
I mean, I don't think you're an idiot atheist. No. But like in the atheist community, are you like a, you know, a common guy, like not, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, kind of. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean like, you know, you're relatable and people can talk to you. I don't know.
Let's see, village idiot. What's the definition? A person of very low intelligence, resident, and well known in a village.
I mean, you are pretty well known in our village. But I mean, I don't think I know you're not of low intelligence. And
Right.
anybody who says that is like from these channels, people who say that, they're just biased, because it's absolutely ridiculous. When you talk to people about New Testament stuff, it is obvious that you are well informed on the topic, even if they disagree with you.
I mean, if you go into Trent's comments, I apparently don't know shit about the New Testament. All right, moving on from that guy, because we got a lot of shit to cover tonight. We got Mike, who says, this is why I think debating atheists is pointless. It's like putting a pearl of great price in front of a pig. You wouldn't do it. There's no common ground. For example, at my university, I created the Freethinker Society, a small group that debated God believers. Our primary goal was to ridicule under the guise of debate. It's my opinion that most atheists are of this caliber. Oh, this is the wrong R. Our of this caliber.
He means R.
Yeah. So, first of all, that was kind of shitty of you to do if that's actually what you did. I would hope that anybody that's created some kind of free, quote unquote, free thought society out there meant to have debates and stuff would not do it in order to just have a dumpster fire every day. I would hope that you would want to have serious conversations and serious debates. I think that anybody that puts together such an organization merely to ridicule and shit on other people just because you have a different set of beliefs than them, I think that kind of makes you a little bit of a shitty person. So I don't know if that's actually what this guy did. This is the internet. Everything's true and nothing's true at the same time. So
I mean, if the creators that I know, the like atheist creators, that is not any of their like their primary goal, none of their primary goal is to ridicule under the guise of debate. None of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure, yes, there are some of those people, I'm sure, but I don't disagree that in a lot of cases debates are a total waste of time. I think discussions are far more productive, because when you set up this whole debate me bro kind of environment, it's just, It's just one person being shitty to another person, and they're people ganging up on each other in the chats, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a waste of fucking time in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know, that's why I don't like. That's why I feel like a lot of people don't like me when I debate, is because for one thing, they all think that I suck just right off the bat for whatever reason.
You lose every single one.
I lose every single one, but also because I don't sit there and just ridicule the other person. Like, I don't drive them into the ground. I don't talk shitty to them, or I don't treat them like they're idiots. Like, I just try to have a conversation with people. That's all I ever want to do, is have a conversation with someone. And, I think those are way more productive. And so people don't like it when I debate, because I won't just lay into them like they're pieces of shit. And I really don't see the point in doing that, other than you yourself have like a personality thing where you can only feel good if you put somebody else down and you make them feel like shit. Like, that's the only way that you can feel better about yourself. I think that's sad, and I don't need that in my life. But in any case, that's going to be it for the comments tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for everybody that's everybody that sent a super chat, which I'm behind. Daniel M sent one saying, "It's okay, GE. I can totally tell that I'm part Puerto Rican, obviously." Jason Kulisik says, "That's why scientists don't debate creationists. It doesn't look good on the CV."
You should show them my sign. Speaking of Puerto Rican, you should show them my sign that's going by my desk.
So Casey got this sign a while ago, and it's going to be going up next to her desk.
It's upside down, babe.
No,
oh
it's
no,
not.
sorry, my bad.
You can't buy happiness, but you can marry a Puerto Rican, and that's kind of the same thing. This is actually a very true sign right here. Anyways, do you know what time it is now, hon?
TED Talk. Do I need to go get Brocephus?
Yep.
Brocephus!
Shitty ass science. Bring in the answers of science shit really wrong. What are you laughing at?
And that you're I don't know, you're just kind of high maintenance, Brocephus.
I'm high maintenance? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, you are.
Whatever. Anyways, what's up, fellow heathens who are going to hell? Straight to hell with that pineapple shoved up your ass. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the coronavirus. The question is the coronavirus the result of human beings sending a probe close to the sun's corona? Or is it a result of people eating food that they usually eat? I don't know why it would be the result of people eating food they usually eat. That seems like a dumb as fuck option right there.
I guess it depends on what you usually eat.
I mean, if you eat out of the ass of, I don't know, fuck a bat. Yeah, a bat. If you eat a bat's asshole, maybe.
See, you could have said sheep, because...
Bah. Means no, okay? Just letting everybody know that. Anyways, if you eat the asshole of a bat, maybe you'll get corona. But no, it is definitely not caused by us sending a probe to the corona of the sun. I feel like that's a little bit impossible, but, I'm not God. I don't know. Basically, and I'm going to go full preacher mode on you guys, okay? The coronavirus is... What is it again? Fuck. The coronavirus is judgment from God. We've been falling away from God in this country, and he has brought the coronavirus on us in order to fuck us up.
This is going to get demonetized for misinformation about COVID.
You think it's not already demonetized? It's GE. He slings racial slurs all over the place frequently. I don't want to hear shit about the monetization thing. Anyways, it's judgment from God because we have been falling away from God's grace. Every single day we fall away from God's grace. When is it going to be enough? Okay, now listen, everybody needs to go out and get the vaccine because God has inspired those scientists to give us the vaccine, and that's the way in which we can protect ourselves. Listen, if you got to think about it this way, the vaccine is a lot like the lamb's blood that was it Moses? Yeah, it was fucking Moses. Moses had people paint on their doors so that the Holy Spirit wouldn't kill their kids because God's loving. So anyways, in the story, they paint blood on their doorways in order for the spirit not to kill their kids. So the spirit only kills the Egyptians' kids because the Egyptian Pharaoh was a dipshit and he didn't let Moses' people go. And so, therefore, all the kids had to die. It's kind of a similar situation now with God. He is sending the Holy Spirit upon everybody here and either giving them corona or not. Now, the way that we can protect ourselves is a lot like the lamb's blood, except now it's a vaccine. Get the vaccine, and if this is somehow convincing you to get the vaccine by comparing it to painting lamb's blood on a door, then I think that YouTube should monetize this stream.
And cover your face like it says to in the OT.
The Old Testament does say cover your face before you blow COVID on people.
Yep, it does.
It does. It says it right there. Joshua 69:32. Anyways. That's going to be it for me. Stop asking dumb as shit questions like this, and I guess I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to go to hell and drop dead and everything like that. Bye, y'all! Oh, I forgot to hit the button. Hold on. This one. Well, shit, it's not set up. Fuck you, GE! Did he just tell everybody to drop dead and go to hell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm gonna have to make him sleep outside tonight.
No, he can sleep in his room. We just won't give him a nighttime snack.
No nighttime snack?
No nighttime snack.
Is he like a gremlin? If we feed him after midnight, does he like grow into like a fucking werewolf or something?
I mean, he's a gremlin all the time. He's Procephus.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a weird question. I don't know if this was satire or whatever, but obviously neither of these things are correct. I agree with Procephus. Get vaccinated and wear a mask. Stay 6 feet away from people, okay? Dear YouTube overlords, please do not demonetize this particular video just because we had a little bit of a satiric skit going on here. Procephus, if he were here and not downstairs getting drunk, would tell you that he was being satirical. Probably. Anyways, are you guys ready to get to the video tonight?
Well, I just have to... The cover your face thing is in Leviticus.
The cover your face thing is in Leviticus?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think Procephus really knows any of his scripture?
He's supposed to. He's our resident Jesus person. Okay, fair point.
All right. All right, we don't have any new super chats, which I appreciate everybody that's done a super chat already. Just to remind you that a portion of all the proceeds that we make here on GE do go to charity. So if you want to help us donate to a suicide prevention charity this month, then please send a super chat, join Skeptic Mafia, anything like that. We're about to go into the actual review video, so if you guys want to throw in your 2 cents while we're watching the video, please feel free. All right, so this guy's name is, it says it at the very beginning. Let's see if I can get it correctly. Steven? I don't know. Let's just call him Steven. He kind of looks like a Steven.
I don't know. I think he looks like a Carl.
Oh, it looks like Daniel M. Up to his subscription. It says, "What is tonight's drink?" Woo! Tonight's drink is a very weird concoction. I've got vanilla
Vodka.
It's vanilla vodka mixed with Monster Orange Sunrise.
Woo! Bear money.
And I put it in the blue jar because if you can't see him drink it, it's almost like it's not happening.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
So Ned Silver says, I have kind of a stupid question. Do you think it's possible to turn an old fridge into a go-kart type thing and drive it like a car?
These hillbillies down here in Alabama can turn anything into anything.
Yeah, there used to be that Rocket City Engineering show or something like that.
Yeah.
A bunch of hillbillies would just make shit out of everything.
That's great.
So I think that it could be possible, but I don't know. See, Lucrezia Cosplay says, can Casey take a shot from my B-Day? I can't drink anymore due to medical issues. And she said, GE can't do a shot again.
I'm sorry, Lucrezia. I don't drink alcohol. I'm so sorry.
I'm the only one that gets drunk in this house.
That's true. I drank one time. It was about maybe a year or two ago. And when we were doing a stream, and I haven't had anything since. And before that, it was almost 10 years since I'd had anything to drink.
I do have this. It's got a little bit of whiskey in it.
Okay.
I don't need a shot glass or anything. I think I'm just going to take a swig for you there. Look, Kretzia, I guess.
I mean, there's not even that much in there.
No. This still fucked me up, though. It's good shit. I hope that suffices there, Look, Kretzia. Anyways, let's get on into Steven's video. He's going to tell us what his name is here soon. But let's get on into the video.
What's up, everyone? So I made a video for Christians. I thought it was only fair if I made a video for atheists as well. I actually dabbled in atheism back in high school when I was going through a really rough spot, and I just completely rejected the notion of God because I wanted to do my own thing.
I totally disagree with his reason for being an atheist about wanting to do his own thing. I hope that if there's one thing that I do with my channel here, it's to get people to honestly analyze the evidence for God and come to a decision on your own. The I want to do my own thing is more of an emotional reason, and I really don't think that emotional reasons are good reasons to do anything. Well, I mean, in this particular context, like there are obviously good reasons for emotional things like, you know, love, you know, stuff like that.
I mean, I just don't understand the whole idea of dabbled in atheism. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You just don't believe in gods. Like,
so what he means by dabble in atheism, basically he filled a cup up with atheism and then he teabagged it. He just dunked it really quick. It was like, oh no, atheism's not for me. And you know, it's kind of like the water was too cold and it's like, nope, balls say no, they crawled back up.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes more. I mean, that makes as much sense as anything. Patrick in the chat wants to know if he drank it afterwards.
If he drank the tea afterwards,
I don't think so. He decided it wasn't for him, so probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, probably not. Although he kind of does look like the kind of guy that would sniff his own farts out of a wine glass.
I was just thinking that, and
No hard feelings, dude, in the video. If you happen to watch this at all, no hard feelings, okay? You're just having some fun.
Atheists have always been very intellectual, logical people, and I don't want to use the Bible, but I want to use logic, reason, and mathematics to try to convince you that God, in fact, does exist. So, there you go.
Let's go. Now, first off, he's wearing a Texas Forever shirt in his intro. I highly disagree with anything Texas right now. And this was posted recently. This was posted in September. So Texas was definitely a shithead state. Now, we know a lot of people that live in Texas, and it's not that the people of Texas are bad. It's just I fucking hate the state in general.
I feel like they have the potential.
They have the potential?
They have potential. I mean, Texas has an economy on its own that's bigger than many countries. So like Texas is they're something, but they have really bad politicians. If they could get better politicians, I mean there are liberal people in Texas. It's just the fucking Al-Qaeda has taken over.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know. I get that Texas has a really big GDP and everything like that, but I mean, you know, they couldn't even keep the power on when it got a little cold.
They've made some really stupid decisions in the name of being independent. Texas loves their independence.
Yeah. All right, let's see what his name is. It's about to show it. Fuck, Timothy.
I mean, it was another basic bitch name. Stephen, Timothy.
Timothy, not Stephen, Timothy. Fuck me. If you're noticing that the music seems a little sped up, I'm actually playing this at 1.5 speed.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but because he sounds normal at 1.5 speed, but at normal speed he talks real slow like me.
All right, let's just dive right in. So what we're really asking here is, what is the probability of there being a God or there not being a God? And to measure the probability, we first have to identify things within the universe or the universe itself to calculate that probability. So I would say,
well, no, I mean, I don't know what he means by that. Though I agree that it's more about probabilities. Like, what's the probability that God exists? And it's not that I think that there's a 0% probability that God exists. If there's one thing that you should know about statistics and like trying to feel your way around these kinds of questions that we're not going to get like a hard answer about, you have to deal with probabilities. So one thing you have to understand is never pick 0, because there's always a chance that, you know, something could be the real answer and we just don't have all the information yet. So never pick 0, but I do feel like a starting off place would be a neutral place. Like starting off at a 50-50. Could God exist? Well, he could or he couldn't. What evidence do we have to sway us in one direction or another? And so if you start off in the middle, you know, and then you weigh the arguments for and against God, I feel like you can get a pretty good handle on what you think about that particular question. And for me, I lived my life without even questioning like 100% God exists. Like I was all the way on that end of it, right? And then when I sort of reset myself to like a 50-50 thing, and then I weighed all the evidence, obviously it didn't come out God, right? It definitely came out that he probably doesn't exist. And so it's not that there's no evidence that would convince me. It's just that it would take substantial amounts of evidence in order to convince me.
I don't even know what the fuck he said. I'm too distracted by that motion thingy behind him.
Is that a little distracting there, hon?
Yeah, but I like it. Like, I kind of want one. I want to know what it is.
the best thing to look at or identify is, in fact, the overall structure
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
of the universe itself. So where do we go from here? Well, I like to break it down into the seen and the unseen, or the physical world and the metaphysical world.
See, I don't know about this whole metaphysical realm. I don't know what in the fuck he means by that. Now, physical realm, I guess he would mean is naturalism, and then metaphysical would be the supernatural, is what I'm guessing, right? Just without him explaining what he means so far. And we don't have any evidence for the supernatural existing. We obviously have evidence that the natural exists, because fuck it, we're here, right? I know that I can drink this regardless, because a lot of people want to, make the argument of like hard solipsism, which is basically like you don't know what's real or not. You could be a brain in the vat, and all of this is just made up. But we have to deal with the world that we're presented with. So for all intents and purposes of this conversation that we're having, the fact that I'm holding a glass full of Monster energy drink and liquor, I think is a fairly good assumption to make that it's real, right? Like that's based in reality. At least the reality that I'm presented with.
And it alters the reality you're in.
It alters my perception.
Fair.
The metaphysical world is going to include the laws of physics, right? The overall governing structure of the universe. This includes space, time, energy, gravity, the whole shebang. And some would include morality and spirituality in that as well, but for the sake of the argument, we're going to leave those aside. The physical realm is obviously what we can feel, what we can touch, what we can interact with, what we can see and observe in this universe.
I don't know why he's got to break it up into realms like that. I feel like he's unnecessarily separating out different things, because energy and the underlying laws of physics of reality and all that kind of stuff, I mean, they exist within reality in the physical world. Like, they exist here. So I don't know why he's got to break it up like that. But I will admit that I was wrong about his concept of like what the metaphysical realm is. But I was expecting like an actual realm.
I mean, maybe it's because he's wrong about what that even means.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
So every single thing that we know in this universe, both seen and unseen, physical and metaphysical, is actually a variable to an infinite degree within this example. And here's how. If I have a blank canvas and I want to put, say, a dog on this canvas, I have an infinite amount of variation that I can create this dog as I see fit. Right?
Have you guys seen the TikTok that's going around out there where a guy has his dog lay on a piece of paper and he traces the dog and then puts googly eyes on the trace? And it's like, he tried. I feel like that's what he's saying here. Like, there's many ways to draw a dog. I mean, I don't understand what he means by this. Like, there's infinite number of variations to things. Okay. I mean, infinite just means very large. Like, there's a very large number, and it's probably uncountable how large this number is. And so I would agree, but also I don't see how I don't understand how that means that God exists. Like, just because there's an uncountable number of ways to draw a dog or to arrange matter or anything like that, I don't know how that means anything for whether or not God exists.
That means in size, in shape, in color, in breed. And if I take the known limitations...
Oh, hold on. Let me just say something. There's not like infinite versions of dogs out there. There's a very finite versions of dogs. There's a finite number of the versions of dogs out there. So him saying, which this is a great pause game. I don't know if you can see, honey. Maybe this should have been on the thumbnail.
That would have just been mean.
It would have been mean. Yeah, you're right. I take it back. Anyways, so there's many different ways that a dog can exist in our reality, but there's definitely not an infinite number of ways they can exist. There's definitely limits. Like, there's a finite number of things that can be real about that. Just because it's a large number doesn't mean that it's infinite necessarily. Oh shit, a fluent gad just subscribed to talk shit about me.
Of what a dog is, that opens up the door even more so to different variations. So it's only the structure in my mind of the preconceived notion of what a dog is that allows me to construct a dog within the limitations. But if I take those limitations away, then I have an infinite more availability to me to be able to create with. You understand? Are you following?
Well, I mean, the limitations exist because that's how we define a dog. Like, if you take the limitations of what a dog is away, then you no longer have like any kind of definition of what a dog is. You're just drawing blobs, or you could draw a single line and that's a dog. Like that means that what you're doing is reducing it to the point of having no meaning. There's no point in this. There's no value in doing this in a conversation. So I don't understand why you would want to do it. Why would you want to remove the limits of what a dog, like remove what the description of what a dog is? I have no idea why you would want to do that, because then we don't know what the fuck to draw.
All in there? I'm not. I want you to think about the universe in its entirety. Zoom in on our solar system. Focus on the sun. Think about the absolute chaos happening on its surface. The fact that you would incinerate within milliseconds if you teleported there now. And how this light travels light years through space to grace a mountain range. And plants take this energy and produce nutrients with it to feed all sorts of life on Earth.
Okay, everything that he's mentioned so far is perfectly natural. We understand photosynthesis and how that works. We understand how the sun works. I mean, I don't know what the point in imagining us teleporting to the surface of the sun and burning up in milliseconds. Like, I have no idea what the point the fuck that was. But everything that he's mentioned has natural processes behind it. Now, the important point here is that if we have a natural process to explain these things, then we don't need a god. We don't need any kind of supernatural explanation in order to explain how plants turn sunlight into glucose and are able to basically eat the sun. We know how that works, right? So it boggles my mind how he's drawing this very emotional sort of argument from this, because he's like, think about how complex all these things are. It's like infinite kind of shit that happens in nature. And it's like, yeah, but we know how to explain these things, so we don't need a god to explain them.
Then think about the molecular.
Oh, I forgot. I remember when I first watched this. Arca Mappa, somebody in the chat there said eight light minutes. So he talked about how the sun is light years away from the Earth. That's not even true. it's 8 light minutes away. Like, it takes 8 minutes for it to get here. Like, from the time when fusion happens and the photon is exerted by the sun, it takes 8 minutes for it to travel from the sun to the Earth. So it doesn't take light years. And this is one of, like, if it wasn't the concept of infinity that he totally misunderstands, that indicates he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, that right there kind of clues me in that he doesn't know what in the fuck he's talking about.
Structure of all of those things. The atoms that are the building block of the physical realm. Every single thing that you just thought of, and an infinite amount more, is a variable. Every single thing.
It's a variable. I don't understand. I don't know what that means. Like, to consider photosynthesis a variable. I mean, photosynthesis happens, like, pretty consistently. It's not variable. If you're talking about how all those things are variables, do you mean like you're representing nature as a variable? Like, if you were to represent all of nature with a single variable in, and that's nature, I don't know how you would apply that in like a mathematical formula. I'm not saying that you can't, but I don't understand how those things are variables. I don't know. Anybody in the chat, do you understand what he means by these things are variables? Because everything that he mentioned, other than like the teleportation and him being wrong about how far it takes for, or how long it takes for light to travel from the sun to the Earth, like, all of those things are not variable. They are pretty consistent. I mean, I don't know. I'm thoroughly confused. Also, we're more than halfway done with this video. We might actually get done pretty quick tonight. Good thing I turned it up to 1.5 speed.
Right?
Thing that you just thought of.
Sorry.
Sorry, the faster that he's done talking, the better.
The faster he's done talking, the better.
Every single thing that you just thought of is like the dog. Everything in the universe is a variable that has an infinite number of variations.
Okay, so before we continue, I did have another super chat a little bit ago. Jester Lord of Fools said, as someone who recently moved to Texas, oh my god, not Texas. I suppose that's a slur. Obviously, this channel's filled with nothing but racial slurs. So he mentioned how all of the things have an infinite like number of variations to them. And I still don't know what that means, because, like, let's just stick with photosynthesis. That's not it doesn't have an infinite number of variations on how that process works. And that's one of the things that he mentioned. Maybe if we wanted to take the sun and how nuclear fusion works within the sun and how photons are exerted by the fusion of atoms within the sun, and how that also gives off other radiation as well. Like, all of that is a process and is not variable and happens the exact same way, in other stars out there. Now, if he means that, I think maybe what he means is that there are multiple different variations of plants out there that perform photosynthesis. I would still say that he's wrong about it having an infinite amount of different ways that it can be done. Because the number of plants on this planet are not infinity. There's not an infinity number of different plants on this planet, or species of plants on this planet. There's definitely a finite number. Now, we don't know that number. It's assuredly a very large number, but it's not infinity, because infinity is not like a finite number. It's a concept. And the concept is just a very large number, uncountable, beyond any kind of reasonable expectation of being able to count, which is a very, very large. That does not represent anything on this earth or anything in reality, really, because there's a finite number of planets. There's a finite, amount of space. There's a finite amount of energy in the universe. All these things are finite. They are not infinite.
So y'all, that means when you're talking about probabilities, you're talking about multiplying infinity times infinity times infinity times infinity times infinity times infinity to an infinite degree, which means it's infinitely improbable for this to just happen by chance.
That's not how infinities work. If you look up the mathematical principles surrounding the concept of infinity, if you multiply infinity by infinity, you just get infinity. Like, you don't get like a larger infinity. It's just infinity. Now, in calculus, we use infinities in order to approximate, the area underneath a curve or other things that we can do.
Woo! Bear money!
But still, these infinities are approximated to a finite number.
So this makes me think of, how I want to do this? I want to get the same guy who came up with the imperial and have him name the different levels of infinity. There's a YouTube video on this. It's so funny. What's it called?
I don't know.
His last name's Dees. I think.
Dees Nuts?
No. I'll find it. I'll put it in the chat. It's really funny. Y'all should watch it.
Daniel M said the number of plants on this planet equals a shit ton. But so already you can tell that he's kind of got a messed up sense of what infinity is. And it doesn't mean that it's infinitely, like monumentally, infinitely impossible. In fact, that's not how statistics work. Remember how earlier I said that you should never pick zero whenever you're dealing with anything that requires like a probability or a statistic? Never pick zero. And that's essentially what he's saying. He's saying that it's infinitely impossible and is therefore got a 0% chance, right? And that's just not how it works. We got I Heart Dogs, who says, by the way, I am now a mythicist. Awesome. Welcome to the fold. I'm not sure what convinced you there, I Heart Dogs, but I'm glad that you're on my side about that particular subject. It's awesome to hear. Thank you. We got Elizabeth Richardson, who says nothing he has said makes sense and just gives me a headache. Anyway, here's my weekly type. Have a look at the weekend, you lovely people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much there, Elizabeth. You're awesome.
We rented a movie theater to go see a movie tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to go see Free Guy.
But I rented the theater.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the whole theater.
Whole ass theater.
The whole ass theater.
So we don't have to sit by a bunch of people that we don't know.
We don't have to sit by anybody.
Nope. I got a couple hot dogs because we could pre-order them.
I haven't done that yet. I'll do it in the morning.
Okay. All right, let's continue with what this guy's saying.
And it's infinitely illogical to think that there's not a God or a higher entity that put the stars in motion, that created the governing structure that governs us all in the physical realm.
I totally disagree with that because, for one thing, we don't need a god to set the stars in motion. That sounds a lot like Aquinas' first way, worst way. That's kind of a Freudian slip there, I guess. Anyways, it sounds a lot like the Aquinas' first way, the prime mover, being that there has to be an entity at the beginning of everything to start everything in motion.
May the power of Christ compel you to get the fuck out of here.
Brocephus can be alarming.
Brocephus fucking got me. I Heart Dog says, watch your conversations with Trent and others. I'd been on the fence. Oh, okay, awesome. Maybe we could talk about that sometime because I'm always interested to see what convinces a person one way or another. So, but anyways, so there wasn't any there doesn't need to be a god to set, quote unquote, set the stars in motion, because with the natural explanation of the Big Bang or the inflation of the universe, that's what started everything moving. And just so you know, the natural explanation for how that happened is there was a fluctuation in a false vacuum in a quantum scalar field. There was a fluctuation from a false vacuum state to a complete vacuum state, a full vacuum state, and we know that when that happens, an immense amount of energy is released. And when that immense amount of energy is released, it exponentially inflated our universe and filled it with inflaton particles, which is a version of energy, which then transformed into what would become how we experience matter today. And so that's what set things in motion, was that fluctuation from a false vacuum to true vacuum state. And so I really don't see a need for God in that. We got Gary White, who says, I guess to me that he really doesn't have a clue, and he should have done more research. Yeah. But here's my main problem with what he's saying. It's that if we have a natural explanation for things, then we don't need a God in order to explain them. We have explained things in the past with God. One of my favorite things is lightning or rain. We've had to have God as those explanations in the past. But we no longer need God in order to explain those things because we have these natural explanations. He thinks that God is the reason why nature exists. He's pinning that on God. But the problem is that that's a leap in his logic. He jumps from nature exists to God exists and he's responsible for it. And I just don't see any underlying evidence to connect those two ideas. I feel like you need some evidence to connect God to nature. All he's saying here is that I don't understand infinities, and if you multiply one infinity by an infinite number of other infinities, then you got a way bigger infinity, and therefore it's very improbable God doesn't exist. And with that kind of explanation, I don't see the merit in it because it doesn't translate to anything we understand about mathematics. It doesn't translate to anything we understand about reality. It just sounds very arbitrary, ad hoc, and uninformed about the field of mathematics.
My favorite Bible verse is the only one that I'm going to pull up, but it's Romans 1:20. And it says the power of God is revealed within creation, therefore no one has an excuse. The amount of information...
I got to go back because this is one of those things that grates on me. I tweeted about this week because of this video specifically. For his invisible attributes have clearly been perceived. If his shit is invisible, then you cannot see it. Now, I know that people are... What?
I'm just laughing. I remember, was it yesterday or the day before you were having a total meltdown about invisible versus
2 days
seen?
ago.
Yeah. It was funny.
It just, it baffles my mind that they're like, yep, this totally makes sense. Because, like, his eternal power and divine nature. Now, I'm not saying that these things have to be like visible in the fact that like, oh, God's got this one bump on his arm that is his eternal power. You know, like I'm not expecting like a physical representation of it, but like I wouldn't say that me being nice to people or me caring about my community or caring about people is an invisible quality of mine. Because you can clearly see that I do things to help my community, like you heathens out there. I do things to help community local to me. I do things to help the community at large. Like, this is a very, very clearly perceived thing. For something to be invisible, but also clearly seen, doesn't make fucking sense to me. If he has eternal power and can clearly be seen, then we should be able to perceive them. But right here in this quote, he is both invisible and visible at the same fucking time. And it drives me fucking nuts. I fucking hate the Bible.
The amount of information that we can obtain within this universe is theoretically infinite. Obviously, no one can know for sure because we just don't have that capability yet. But I think it's reasonable to say that the amount of information within the universe is in fact infinite. So
well, that just shows me that you, in fact, don't understand infinity. Because if the universe has a finite amount of energy attributed to it.
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
If the universe has a finite amount of energy to it, which it does, if it has a finite amount of energy to it, then I would say that there is a finite amount of information. Now, I do agree that we don't know how much information is out there or how much we still have yet to know, but it is still like a finite amount of information, right? So, I mean, it further goes to show how this guy does not understand the concept of infinities. Hellbound Hillbilly says, let's be horrible people and give money to secular charities.
Woo! That's KC's money.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, what did you do that chat there, hon?
Read it.
This is the free member milestone chat. I don't know what the milestone was, but I was the first member, so I am just going to keep talking to you.
No, talking.
Oh, talking.
Until I ran out of characters.
Oh, until. Awesome. I had no idea that was a thing now.
I didn't either. I've been seeing a couple of these green and I wasn't sure what they were for. And I was like, well, maybe it's when members super chat. But members were super chatting and showing up with the others. But if you click on the super chat, if you're a member and you've met some kind of milestone, I don't know what, underneath super sticker and super chat, you'll see free member super chat.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Let's see. Jester Lord of Fly says clear is pretty invisible. True. That's true. Not the kind of clear he was talking about, but yeah. All right.
that means that you could have an infinite number of points of things that you can have knowledge over, of objects within this universe that could have infinite variations of what they could be.
Let's just fuck around with this particular concept. Let's just say that there is legitimately an infinite number of variations to things in this universe. I don't know how this relates to whether or not God exists. Because whether or not there's an infinite number of variations of, planets, worlds, people's right big toe, I don't understand how this relates to God. If he means that there's an infinite number of versions and the only person that can know all the versions is God, then okay, I guess. Caden says, yep, it works. And Cyrenian's like, yay, me too. Woohoo! Asexual Atheist did one, but it was just the chat. Wizard of Oz says, join the mafia, and all I got was this. Whale peen.
There's a better whale peen than that.
Yeah. Spouting
use
whale and a cucumber. Whale dick. Yay for milestones! Elizabeth has one too. Although I apparently in my in my streamer setup thing, it doesn't recognize them as like a super chat.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't think they don't come with any monetary value or anything like that, which is fine. I think it just gives, maybe the members get one a month or something. I don't even know. This is brand new.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. I love seeing all of the messages from you guys though.
Somebody in the chat though said something or asked something interesting. Can anyone imagine December without a Christmas? Without Christmas? I mean, yeah, it would just be like any other month. But I mean, atheists also celebrate Christmas. It's very secularized. So, and then Patrick said, I try to imagine it every year so I can actually have a fucking birthday. I can relate. When your birthday falls very near to Christmas, you often don't get separate like birthday from Christmas. In fact, one of my biggest pet peeves is getting my birthday presents wrapped in Christmas paper. I hate it. And I know that's probably a petty little thing, but I don't give a fuck. I hate it.
Yeah, Terrence Clark says that his grandmother's B-Day was Christmas Eve. That's got to kind of suck.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
Daniel Davis says, I did finally join the Mafia tonight before you went live. Keep the mic on KC.
I hate the mic.
Welcome to the Mafia there, Daniel. All right, so let's get back to the video. I can't even remember what he was saying, but it was something stupid. Oh, we were saying let's fuck around. Huh?
I can't remember. It was something stupid. Rude.
Well, I know it's like, let's fuck around with this whole idea about all this. And yeah, I think I made the point that I wanted to, that I don't understand how this harkens back to like God existing, just because there's an infinite amount of things out there.
There are so many things happening within this universe that the human mind can't even begin to wrap its head around it. Yet all of it is happening so symbiotically and so harmoniously within rhythm of each other.
And yet so many things try to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just don't understand the concept of everything is so harmonious. No, it fucking isn't. Have you been to Australia? Legit, everything there wants to fucking kill you.
Let's see. Dave Lee.
Just a little bit of money.
Dave Lee said, here's my free super chat. Not sure what to type. The stupid name of that thing on his desk that behind the dude is the swinging sticks. Lame.
I'm going to look it up, though. I might get me one. With
With
KC's money. Woo!
KC's money.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Drew's book reviews. Hey there, Drew. Said my 11-year-old Kaylin has a birthday Christmas Eve. Oh, okay, cool.
That's not cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot harder for like presents and stuff because
not just presents, but you don't get your separate party because your family comes over for Christmas and it's just like, oh, it's Christmas and your birthday, and the birthday is so secondary.
Listen, okay,
it's not cool.
I don't have something that's as bad as that because mine's variable, but sometimes my birthday falls on Thanksgiving.
That is true.
When I was 16 years old, my dad had me for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Thanksgiving.
And he forgot.
He forgot about my birthday. And everybody was wondering why I was in the corner of the room sad. This is my father's family. Everybody was like, why is John so sad in the corner? And somebody finally mentions, oh, it's his birthday. And then I got a fucking turkey candle. They lit a turkey candle and brought it to me singing happy birthday.
I'm so sorry.
And I had to act happy about it.
But listen, just a couple years ago, we had Johnsgiving.
Johnsgiving?
We did. Do you remember? Because it was your birthday on Thanksgiving and we had Johnsgiving.
I know.
Yes, we make a deal of it. When you fall on Thanksgiving, it's still a deal. And we always do separate, even though it's right by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you never, ever get birthday presents that are Thanksgiving themed.
No.
And
I don't get you things that are Christmas themed.
No, because you know if it comes to me in fucking Christmas wrap, I'm gonna have a meltdown.
Drew's book review says Kaylin is my Christmas present. Log KCGE, and my youngest was born on my birthday. Oh, that's interesting. So let me backtrack a little bit because I didn't hear I can't remember what he said.
I'm sorry.
All of it is happening so symbiotically.
Oh yeah.
And so harmoniously within rhythm of each other.
Okay. So yes, things do happen that way, but that's because of uniformitarianism. Or well, that's how we understand how reality operates. It's uniform. It always operates the same now as it did in the past. And we're slowly figuring out how our reality works. That's what's the goal of science is to describe our reality. And to act like, oh, the reality operates in such a harmonious way, therefore God, removes the fact that nature explains everything that he's been talking about this entire time. Nature does not require God in order to function. Like, we don't see God in the rain cycle. We don't see God in the, rain cycle, water cycle. We don't see God in the rock cycle. We don't see God in nuclear fusion. We don't see God in any natural process. He's just ad hoc attributing natural processes to God without proving that God is necessary for those natural processes to happen. And this just simply isn't convincing to me or anybody that I know, really, because we all pretty much have the same opinion about natural processes and God. He's just not in the equation.
Swinging stick sculptures are like $300.
They're $300.
Dude, Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
Elizabeth Richardson says he looks like he's
May the power of Christ compel you to get the fuck out of here.
Licking his lips and looking at that cupcake in that pause screen.
Cupcakes are delicious. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Asexual Atheist says, if we cannot know all the infinite stuff of reality, how do we determine if it is harmonious? That's a good point. It could only appear to be harmonious and not really be harmonious. It's just fucking weird chaos that we only perceive it as harmonious.
I hope that I was able to challenge you and encourage you to maybe research these things for yourself.
May the power of Christ compel you to get the fuck out of here.
I Heart Dog says, did Timmy have a fever dream and is describing it? Maybe.
We don't want to know.
I do agree with this sentiment here, that I hope that people investigate the claims about God and come to your own decisions. Regardless of what that decision is, what side you come out on this particular question, whether you believe in God or not, I hope that you don't let somebody tell you what to think, and instead you think for yourself and determine whether or not you believe in the arguments for or against God. I hope that you take the time to figure that out for yourself. So I totally agree with this one thing in his video.
Definitely look into infinity, just because infinity is awesome, and how there's different variations of infinity actually within itself, and there's infinities that are larger than other infinities.
I'm sorry, but like my minor in math just had a heart attack. There are infinities that are greater than other infinities? What in the fuck are you talking about, sir? Brian Blackbird said, Godless Avengers, Infinity's War.
But yeah, I hope that this somehow convinced you that there is in fact a God. I'm very confident of this. There are billions of people that are very confident of this. But now it's just trying to figure out which one. I'll catch y'all next time.
All right, Timothy, I guess we'll catch you next time. I'm not convinced by this video that God does exist, or that I have been wrong about the arguments for God. I find that in his video here, let's actually get back to the main screen. I find that in his video tonight, He's made a lot of arbitrary statements. He's shown that he doesn't understand how infinities work, and he's basically making a logical leap from natural processes to God. He's just outright stating that God is necessary for natural things to exist, but natural processes to operate, and therefore that proves God. Now, if that sounds circular, it should, because it is. You can't just presume that God exists and then say that God is necessary for natural things to happen. That's just not how shit works. Now, another thing that I really disagreed with about his message for atheists is that he tries to come off as scientifically minded and mathematically minded, but yet he violates a number of different things, like choosing zero, saying that it's infinitely impossible for God not to exist. I would think that any...
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever, shut the fuck up.
I would think that any reasonably minded person would not take a 0%, chance of things, especially when it's so poorly presented as there's an infinite variation of the photosynthesis process. It's variable, and therefore God has to exist.
That's not even true.
Well, yeah, well, in this case, this has a very specific term of not even wrong. It's so wrong that it's not even wrong, because it doesn't even graze past.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
It doesn't even come close to anything that is right or wrong. It's just not even wrong. If you want to learn more about that, I mean, you can just Google search it, but that's a legit principle that you can look up. We get Daniel M that says, please, for the sake of humanity, please don't click with your teeth at the end of a video. Oh, is that what he did? Did he click his teeth at the end of the video, or did I?
No, I don't think you did. I think maybe he did, but I'm not sure, because I was not really paying close attention. So sorry.
Ned Silver says maybe he's referring to Yu-Gi-Oh! When he says infinities are bigger than others, when Yami Yu-Gi-Oh! Summons a monster that has infinity +1 attack. What? That seems like a weird thing to do. I mean, I guess if Yu-Gi-Oh! Does it, I mean, that's fine within that game, but it seems a little weird to do an infinity +1. But anyways, so I'm not impressed with this video. I'm not convinced that God exists. I'm not convinced that I need to, reevaluate my conclusions on God. I feel like it's going to take a little bit more than just a bad understanding of mathematics as well as logic and statistics in order to convince me that God does exist. So I don't know, maybe he's got some better videos out there. Maybe he'll realize what he said is wrong. I don't know. But in any case, I hope that you heathens had fun tonight. I know that I did. I appreciate everybody coming out to watch this message to atheists. We're about to go into the Skeptic Mafia comments right now. So if you want a chance to leave your own comment for the video that we watch on Fridays, then you'll need to join the Skeptic Mafia at the Mafioso level. You can just smash that join button, or there's a link in the description that's just http joinskepticmafia.com, and you'll be taken right to the page where you can become a member. You get a lot of great perks, like there's a podcast. We weren't able to get one recorded this week due to technical issues. Technical problems with GE is really not Amazon, but Adobe's fault. But normally we have a podcast that we put out. We've got a monthly hangout that we do. We just got a lot of shit that we love to provide to the Skeptic Mafia. So come on, join us. You'll have a lot of fun. You'll get a lot of free shit in the meantime. You also got emojis. Emojis are good.
Emojis
and we
are
donate
fun.
to charity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good time. Anyways, like I said, we're going to be going into the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you're leaving out right now, I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. I know I am. And make sure you stand up and use your voice. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you like this video. I guess we'll see you heathens later. Bye, y'all.
But don't go.
But don't go, because we have the Skeptic Mafia comments, and I actually do have them pulled up. I just got to
I
get 'em
checked there aren't any
resized.
extra.
There's okay.
Or like there aren't any unpublished
Right.
or held for review.
Comments. Not comments of the day, but just comments.
Skeptic Mafia comments.
Skeptic Mafia comments. Gotta blow them up. See, let me do a quick refresh just in case. 'Cause I loaded these up before the stream, and sometimes people like to leave a comment right before we start or after we start. Okay. Here we go.
I know, Elizabeth, but I have been up since like 6:30. I'm tired.
Yeah, you had to get up early this morning, didn't you?
I didn't have to, but I did.
Oh, okay. All right. Skeptic Mafia comment. All right, Daniel Davis says, I guess we'll see. Thank you so much, Daniel, for becoming a Skeptic Mafia member today. Quentin Van Booven says, knew we were in for a load of crap once they said I dabbled in atheism.
Well, that was right at the beginning.
I know. It's like, oh, bullshit's ahead. Once again, seems to be a guy saying a lot without saying anything of meaning. Though I do have to say, I've not heard someone use the laws of physics like this to prove God. Anyway, I'm on a mobile, so GE insert 1 shilling here. And to the rest of y'all, remember, always index at either 1 or -1. What the fuck? God damn it, Quentin.
See, Quentin didn't care because Quentin wasn't going to be here tonight.
Yeah.
So
He was
just
like, fuck it, I will light this shit on fire and just leave.
Pretty much. That's what he did.
Thank you so much, Quentin. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for leaving that comment. Vanta Blue! Just because something is probable and plausible doesn't mean it is true. If probabilities were truths, there would be no gambling. His graphs of probability is severely lacking. I totally agree with that. His classification of metaphysical and physical is up for debate, to put it mildly. Well, I thought that it was kind of weird to break up metaphysical and physical that way, because, like, I want to say that, let's see, metaphysics definition, the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space.
I mean, he had some of that. Like, he had time and space.
Yeah.
But then, like, didn't he have, like
laws of
physics in there?
Yeah, I guess he was meaning, like, abstract things. But, I mean, like, the laws of physics are not abstract things. I don't think. Like, I don't think that you'd use abstract to describe them.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Let's see. Light doesn't travel for years to get to the Earth. It's about 8 minutes. He gets a meh as a rating. Y'all do too. If you don't lick that like button, don't be a mad person. Lick the like. Smash the like button.
Don't lick your phones. They're dirty. Also, go clean your phone.
Oh, hey, you know what? I think this is a good point for this.
I don't know what he's doing. Oh, are you special one? Oh, you haven't
y'all
tried
know
this
what
one.
time it is this year, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, bring on the pumpkin spice. This I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's oh shit. It's pumpkin spice Bud Light seltzer. You know, I'm gonna get so much shit. But I'm gonna try this right now. First time I'm trying this flannel pumpkin spice Bud Light. Y'all pray for me.
It looks like your tongue is slapping your forehead.
A little bit.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call this pumpkin spice. Although I know that you use pumpkin spice for like pumpkin pies, but this is like a pumpkin pie in a can. That's actually decent.
Okay. I'll believe you.
All right, next up, we've got Hellbound Hillbilly. This guy is a parody of a stereotype that rivals the characters of Eli Bosnick. The only thing missing from his hip youth pastor outfit is the backwards folding chair and tragic backstory by David A.R. White. His quote-unquote evidence for the existence of God is equally stereotypical, laid out in a way that sounds like that hippie that nobody actually knows, but who keeps showing up at parties and who might be trying to prove the existence of God, or might be trying to talk you and your girlfriend into a threesome. Now, if you know anything about the Old Testament, you know that he loves threesomes.
I mean, they got the Trinity.
Yeah, they do.
Of course, I haven't figured out if that's a threesome or like a circle jerk or if it's just masturbatory. I'm not really sure what's going on.
It's definitely circle jerky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before I start sounding like I'm trying to get you all into the sack, I guess I should tell you to smack that like button like it needs a safe word. Ring that bell. Meatloaf is the safe word, though. And if you want to go all the way, hit the join button to see all the benefits or friends and the Skeptic Mafia get.
Meatloaf is the best safe word. It is.
'Cause I would do anything for love. But I won't do that.
Yeah.
No! I won't do that. All right. Now that we're done with singing, Daniel M says, I love how he says he dabbled in atheism so he can do his own thing. That is a piss poor reason to dabble in atheism. Even the universe is finite. It will end at some point. I wonder what will happen when people, to the people sucking God dick when that happens. They are all going to be like, I thought we had eternity. He goes on not understanding how evolution works and uses the word infinity a lot. Did anyone tell him when you get infinite in mathematics, there is something wrong with the calculation? Well, typically, especially if there's infinite in the denominator. Well, no, if there's infinite in the numerator, that's just infinity. If there's infinite in the denominator, it's just zero, basically, because 1 over infinity is basically 0. Is what it amounts to. You have to approximate because infinity is a concept. It's not like a real number. Anyways,
Sorry.
you're fine. Did anyone tell him that there's something wrong with the calculation? Also, infinity times infinity, some odd times raised to the infinite power. Guess he didn't learn of embedded exponents, or he would have used that. Is still infinity. I know, right? That really confused me about how there's infinities greater than other infinities. Like, I don't understand that. I bet this guy indexes at infinity. Fuck him if he does. Fuck him if he indexes at infinity, because you can't do that. Fuck Timothy. Not really, Timothy. You're okay, I guess. I'll be nice.
Timothy's probably not watching anymore.
You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Probably not. Let's see. I bet Do you know who doesn't? That's right, the Skeptic Mafia. For just a little money each month, you get emojis. If you go more to get monthly hangouts, podcasts, and a plethora of other perks, GE knows the tier levels better than I do. Okay, so there's an ironically named shill level where you get the emojis in the chats and you get a special little badge and everything like that. And then if you bump it up a notch to the mafioso level, I mean, you pretty much get everything. Monthly access to the monthly hangouts and stuff like that.
Discord.
And the Discord, there is a Discord that I neglect. I'm doing a lot better on the monthly hangouts. Like, we regularly have monthly hangouts.
Have you had one in September?
No, I usually do them at the end of the month.
Oh, but didn't you do one when we were on vacation? I know you did. You did one when you were... Oh, was that August?
That was August.
Okay. You need to do one this weekend because next Thursday's the end of the month.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I don't have time to this weekend, so we may have to double up in October or something. We've done that before.
Yeah.
Just the first weekend in October and the last weekend in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so join the Skeptic Mafia. You'll get a whole bunch of free shit, and you'll get a lot more out of this channel if you do. Michael W. Roble says Mr. Timothy here has a real fixation on imaginary concepts. I'm referring to, of course, his infinity is cool comment. God, infinity, two imaginary concepts created to fill holes. You're 2 for 2, Tim. Wizard of Oz says infinity. You keep using this word. It does not mean what you think it means. I love those kinds of references. Zach Clark just says, Fergal Burgle, Manurgle Burgle.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's embodying the puppet from Sesame Street. What is his name? Squeaker? I don't know. No. Maybe it's not the Squeaker guy because you can't really. Is that Chef?
It might
I don't
be
know.
Chef.
Swedish Chef.
Beaker.
Beaker. No, well, Beaker's more.
Yeah, Beaker just meeps.
Yeah, he meeps. Anyways, so I'm not sure what you're meaning there, Zach, but thank you so much. Jonathan Nickel. At the start, he says he dabbled in atheism because he wanted to do his own thing. That is rebellion against religion, not atheism. He was only an atheist if the number of gods he actually believed in was 0. I'm always skeptical of Christians that tell me they were former atheists. Many of them don't seem to know what that means.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who had an issue with dabble in atheism. That just made no sense to me.
Oh, I had a problem with it too. I just assumed that he dunked his nuts into tea.
Somebody earlier, when you were describing that, they were like, that's not dabble, that's dribble.
Let's see. Logic, reason, and mathematics? Maths can't show a God. There is no God variable and no equation that leads to God. How does he go with the other two? First fail. The laws of physics are physical, not metaphysical. The clue's in the name, for crying out loud. In fact, everything he calls metaphysical, I would group in with physics. I see no demonstration of metaphysical as a concept, just like I don't see any supernatural.
People in the chat keep saying that's a Matt Dillahunty reference.
What?
The Federgal Burgle thingy you did. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard Matt say that, but it kind of seems like something Matt would say.
I mean, when I talk to Matt, we just talk.
Well, so like, if I could see somebody spouting off a whole bunch of nonsense, and then Matt comes back with Manergaburgle, like yeah. I could see him come back with that, like, oh, you're just speaking nonsense.
Well, yeah, I mean, Matt can be a little bit abrasive.
I mean, I can see myself doing that. Okay, anyways, he talks about infinity so much, I don't think he even understands the concept. Okay, a large number of events have led to our sun, our planet, the diversity of life, etc. So what? A lot can happen in a billion years. The look at how improbable we are arguments look at the situation from a top down rather than a bottom up perspective, as though what we have now was an end goal that had to be reached. We really aren't that special or significant. The probability of God, how did he calculate that? We have one universe that we know exists, and no good evidence that a God formed or was any part of it. Then he just goes to quote Bible verses like that matters. His whole video is one huge argument from ignorance. I agree. Trickster says he dabbled in atheism. So I guess that means I can say I dabbled in Christianity. Let's see. I think dabbling in Christianity would be dunking your nuts in the wine while you're eating some communion wafers.
Yeah.
Except, cookies and cream kind of wafers. She's not listening to me.
I am. I'm just answering some jackwagon in the fucking chat.
Oh, okay.
About shit that doesn't fucking belong to Christianity that they're attributing to Christianity. So.
Oh, okay. Let's see. He also says, I'm not going to use the Bible, but he does. Who knew? He says we are looking for probabilities, but we are not. We are looking for evidence. I'm not the smartest person here, but I don't think that just because the word physical appears in the word metaphysical, I don't think the word means what he thinks it means. At least he believes in space, but why do we have to listen to the look at the trees argument? The religious are so good at making shit up, why can't they come up with something new? I don't think this message was meant for atheists. I think, like most, if not all, of these messages were clearly meant for those who are believers. Like, subscribe, and share, and if you don't want to be part of something special, or if you do want to be part of something special, then hit that join button to become a member of the Skeptic Mafia. You get a cool badge to show everyone that you're part of the cool crowd, that cool, hip, shitty crowd that does really uber shitty things with money and stuff.
Mm-hmm. We're the shittiest.
Yeah, like dipping our nuts in wine to dabble in Christian. Anyways.
It's a good thing that wine bottles are shaped like they are to keep them safe from the likes of you.
I'm just now remembering how at least 2 of my coworkers know about my channel.
Well, I mean, it should make work on Monday more interesting, right? He kept talking about dipping his nuts in stuff.
I don't know why in the fuck he's talking about that. Maybe we should investigate his house.
At least it's not peanut butter.
Y'all got any nut cells on there? Okay, anyways. Let's see. You also get to vote on what video dumpster fire we will be watching on Friday. Yes, so tonight's video is care of the Skeptic Mafia. Gave them 3 choices and they picked this one. To be fair, all I said was that it was a message to atheists. I didn't say what the message was. But at this point, you should really expect something stupid. Just saying. And be able to drop a comment on the video and be able to watch GE read it live on air. And you get a crazy podcast every week where GE and his lovely wife, Casey, will discuss the latest craziness going on around us. We pull a lot from Right Wing Watch because they do a pretty good job of collecting videos from all over like the internet. But we also collect videos that are just natively out there, like on Twitter and stuff. And it's rather hilarious sometimes.
I mean, it's mostly me bitching. So if that interests you, join the Skeptic Mafia. At least that's what the Skeptic Mafia tells me. It's basically just Casey bitching the whole time. I'm glad you guys enjoy that.
As always, stand up, use your voice, and do all the things we need to do to put this pandemic in its place. Bye, heathens! Thank you so much there, Trickster. Appreciate you, man. We got Command Cyborg who says, okay, right, so you dabbled in atheism. Okay, I'm not playing No True Scotsman card just yet, Now, you say you want to prove the Christian God to exist without using the Bible. Good luck there, fellow. Right? How exactly did you think am I supposed to understand your analogy when you don't understand it yourself? I'm waiting. No? Well, however, since I think I get it, it might be an indication that I'm smarter than you, but I'm not the one to draw hasty conclusions. Or am I? No! Don't stare into that sun. It'll destroy your eyes, man. God damn it with these people. And also, the sun isn't light years from the planets, from the planets on this planet. That wouldn't work. Let's see. What you propose next? The sun is a dog, and infinity to infinity fail well. Yes, some infinities are greater than others, but I think the one you created is of the smaller sort. Still, you don't have to be a William Lane Craig to misunderstand them. I do too. Misunderstanding probability. It's the creationist wizard. It's magic. I don't gotta explain it. Okay, gotcha. I think I see why you don't understand what you're saying, because it's fucking ridiculous and doesn't prove a thing. It's only partially because a lot of it is wrong. See, I'm gonna have to look into this. Some infinities are greater than others, because when I was doing like my mathematics minor and I was taking statistics and all this stuff, and well, not statistics necessarily, but all throughout my calculus classes and everything like that, like if you multiply an infinity by an infinity, you get an infinity. If you raise an infinity to the power of infinity, you get infinity. Because that's just infinities multiplied by infinities.
I learned enough math to pass, and then I forgot it all. I don't mind. Hey, I have a quick question. So Jason is asking where we get to where KC bitches. Is there like a playlist of Skeptic Mafia? Mm-hmm. There's a playlist. Yeah. It's actually right on the front page of the channel. If you go to the very front of the channel, like the home screen of the channel, and you look through all the playlists down there, one of them is Skeptic Mafia Podcast. Okay, and if you're a member, then you'll be able to see it. Yeah, if you're a member, you'll be able to see it. If you're not a member, it'll query you to become a member. Oh, okay. So there you go, Jason. I guess Jason, you need to watch the Imperial thing. I'm gonna put a link in there again. The Imperial guy, Jason. Now I'm gonna do it all the time. Sorry. All right. Maybe try with fire and brimstone next time. Not that it'll work, of course. And give props to GE for highlighting your channel. I'm going to steal a line from parts of the ACA. We don't hate you. We just think that you're wrong. There. Smash all the buttons, ring-a-ding-dong with your ding-a-ling on the bell. Oh, that's nasty. Go wash your device and your hands for good measure. Your mouth as well. Insert a free shilling here. The free shilling would be emojis. If you haven't seen people using the emojis, that's like this whale peeing emoji, care of Uhan Roderick, and then the robot devil, and then the idiot bell. And my what the fuck face. I was getting there. Oh, sorry. Casey's what the fuck face. Ken Ham shooting magic. Ken Ham's shooting magic. It's one of my favorite memes that I made during the Ken Ham Bill Nye debate that gets shared around a lot. Shocked Pikachu. Shocked Pikachu is a good one too. But anyways, I miss you eating chicken. Yeah. Well, as soon as we get more members, I'll put it back up. No, you got to do a new one. A new one? Yeah, I liked that one of you eating. I mean, what do you even use that for? Like, I don't even know what that you would use that emoji for, but I liked it. It was funny. Diesel Jester is next, saying I give him props for not resorting to because my Bible says so, as a lot of apologists seem to do. His entire argument can be broken down to a personal incredulity fallacy in which he can't grasp the probability of life happening on Earth, and so he has to jump to God to explain it in his own mind. So as far as arguments for God go, I give this a half a face palm out of 5 on my scale, where 0 is your average, chill Christian, and 5 being Matt Powell or Ray Comfort. That's a hell of a scale right there.
Okay,
Woo!
this is Gary
Bear
White.
money.
First off, he doesn't have a lick of sense and rambling on about nothing, and epically failed when he talked about how he dabbled in atheism and need to do more research before posting a video.
That's a lot.
Jonathan Hanachak said, "What the fuck did you just say, stupid? Some infinities can be bigger than the rest of infinity? I'm sorry, an infinity is a concept of the largest number known to man. At least that's how I was explained. So if there's infinities that are bigger and some that are smaller, then they can't really be called infinity. John, if you would inform the peanut gallery that we would like to hear what she has to say, no matter if she wants us to hear it or not, she should have a mic on so that we can hear every little thing that she says. So
You just don't even have to read this part because I'm on the mic so they can stop fucking bitching about it.
Sly of the moment because we want to laugh too. And I know she's got some great comments to make because I know you're giggling all the time, and then you have to reiterate what she said. And telephone games aren't people's specialties. I recommend from now on that if the peanut gallery would like to join, she needs a mic on. Lol, please don't kill me, KC.
Mind your business. I'll be here when I feel like it.
Thanks for listening to our rant tonight. If you guys would go down there into the functionality of the website and click the like, dislike button multiple times until you land on the like button, tickle the subscribe button, and then if you really want to make GE go woohoo, go press the subscribe button and join the Skeptic Mafia. I'd love to see your faces. No thank you for coming to this TED Talk. Dumbass out!
It's a weird way to end it.
Jester Lord Full says, because we can look at the infinite variation of woof, there is a dog. Infinity dog is real, so pet the lick button or she will snap your paws.
Is Infinity Dog like the dog that doesn't have an ass? Like the dog that has two heads? So it's like Infinity Dog?
I don't know.
Do you remember that show Dog Cat or Cat Dog or
Cat Dog?
I mean, I just saw the thing. I didn't actually watch it, but if it's like two dogs, is it like Infinity Dog? I mean, really,
I don't think so.
Not even one whole dog.
Terrence Clark says, Romans 1:20. I really wish people would stop using that as an argument against atheism. Anyway, this video is like a, whoa, dude, what if God made all this stuff, stoner version of, look at the trees. And the laws of physics are metaphysical? They're practically the purest embodiment of the physical world. It's married bachelor levels of incompatible with the term metaphysics. And then we got our first Alex Baranowski, who is the first one to leave a comment. And they said, that weird stick thing in the background that rotates is really distracting. Or is it my ADHD?
No, it's not you.
Not just you there, Alex. He's off to a rough start with, I dabbled in atheism when I had a rough patch. Then he goes into probability of there being a God. Facepalm. Is he going to elaborate on the structure of the universe? Did he say there's infinite variety of dogs? That's literally not true. Then he goes into an incoherent rambling and word salad. Remember to eat salad, mafiosos. Also wash your hands and wear a mask and get the jabs. Do go ahead and get the jabs because the jabs are important.
And the
jabby,
mask.
jabby.
The mask is very important.
Mask up and jab.
And wash your damn hands.
Wash your damn hands, you filthy animals.
And your phones. Fuck, y'all. Wash your phones. Clean your fucking phones off. Get a sanitizing wipe right now and clean your phone.
I do want to say thank you to everybody that did a super chat tonight. Brandon Shaver says Vsauce has a great video about the different various infinities. I'll have to go and check out Vsauce's channel. I don't really watch him all that often, but can. how to count past infinity. Chrismer gave me a link to that. I don't know if maybe this is just an advanced math course or what, but like it's kind of weird. Or maybe like the different infinities aren't really different in the way that he's talking about them being different. I don't know. Oh, Jonathan Hanchek uses free his free chat to say, please, KC, from now on, let's call you the Peanut Gallery.
I mean, I feel like that's been a thing that people call me for a while, right?
Yeah.
Terrence said, "Don't clean your phone by licking it." Clean, yeah. You're not a cat. It's not your junk. Don't do it like that.
Jason Kulisike says your mask is for others. You don't want to know what's on your phone.
No, you don't want to know what's on your phone. You know what's on your phone? Poop. Same shit that's in holy water. Just go ahead and clean your phone.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, there was a study done on holy water, and it was found to contain a non-zero amount of fecal matter in it.
And there's more than that on your phone.
Yeah. That's because people keep shoving their phones up their ass, right?
No, I don't think that's why.
I like how you had to stop. Like, wait, am I sure that's not why?
Chrismer, stop telling people to lick their phones. Fuck.
Pumpkin spice.
Is it really good? Honest? Really?
Oh yeah, it's
Weird.
actually pretty good. Which, you know, maybe I could go ahead and do this. Let me do this real quick. Cause I meant to do this like earlier today, but this will just appear next week. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice? That's gonna be an alert.
A GE alert, not a Brocephus alert.
Not a Brocephus alert, a GE alert.
Oh my goodness, that one's gonna have to be special.
Well, I mean, that's one of my most favorite like things to do. Like you're sniffing up some kind of seasonal thing, like, oh yeah, pumpkin spice.
You wouldn't want to do that with pumpkin spice.
Don't do, the lawyers are wanting me to tell y'all, don't do that shit with pumpkin spice. It'll
or
definitely
cinnamon
fuck you
or
up.
anything at all.
Yeah. Daniel Davis says, at least brush your teeth afterwards. But anyways, that's the end of our show tonight. We really appreciate everybody coming out. Normally, I like to take a few questions here at the end. No, we've been running a good 2 hours, so I've only got time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. Tag me in the side chat right now if you want me to answer anything real quick. You know, I'm not going to be able to do the Skeptic Mafia hangout this weekend, but it will be the 1st of next month, and then we'll do 1st of next month and end of next month as the Skeptic Mafia hangout dates. So just keep that in mind. I Heart Dog says good night. See you there. See you later there, I Heart Dogs. So glad you came to the Mythicist side. Although I would have totally respected if you didn't. I'm not the kind of asshole that requires people to agree with me. Excuse me. Keith McKeever said, did you see that Hobby Lobby got busted with stolen Assyrian artifacts and had to give them back to Iraq? Well, interestingly enough, the people that own Hobby Lobby, they're the ones that did the Bible Museum. And this is actually something that happened a while ago. They actually got caught buying fake artifacts off of the black market. So it doesn't really surprise me that the Hobby Lobby people also bought real artifacts off the black market. It seems totally in line with their shitty fucking character.
We were supposed to go there.
We
to
were
the Bible Museum for my we were going into town for my graduation,
and then fucking COVID.
I know.
I remember that year. I was like, it's gonna be fine, honey. We're gonna go to Washington D.C. We're gonna have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely pay for everything now.
And I did. I paid for everything. I paid for the tour bus tickets. I paid for the ticket. I bought tickets in advance to literally everything. And when I sent emails when graduation got canceled and we didn't go, I sent emails to all of the places that I'd booked asking them for a refund.
Uh-huh.
Do you know how many contacted me back at all?
How many?
a zero number.
A zero number.
Yes.
Let's see. Dave Lee says, "What games are you playing these days?" Let's see. I'm in the middle of several. Right now, I've been focusing on trying to complete Deathloop. So I've been trying to complete that because that's one of the newest things that came out. Diablo 2, I know just came out, which I'm quite interested in doing that. But I also want to complete the Ascent. And that's I've heard that that's somewhat like Diablo, and that it's like a top-down isometric type of game. And so I'm very interested to play that to fruition. But I might get Diablo 2 first and play that all the way through. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to get Deathloop done, but that's going to take me a while because I can only play for so much a day. I only have so much free time, so it takes me a while to play games completely.
Because you have a full-time job in the channel, which is also a full-time job.
Yeah, I get 2 full-time jobs basically, and I'm a father, so that takes up some time as well. But anyways, Jason Kulisik says, "Is that a remake?" Yeah, so it's Diablo 2 Resurrection. Basically, what they did was they took the original Diablo 2, and then they've got this layer that overlays on top of it that improves the graphics and everything like that. So they just did a number of improvements on it. So anyway, let's see. Godless Engineer, have you played The Outer Worlds yet? I think you'd really enjoy it. I have. I'm in the middle of that one too. I pick it up randomly when I don't have something else to play. But I haven't finished it yet because, it's a fairly long game. So I'm kind of playing it piece by piece. But anyways, I'm going to head out. Y'all have a great night. I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, and we'll be back on Monday. Monday, just to let you guys know, because I know everybody wants to know, I'm responding to Metatron. A number of people have sent me his video.
Who the fuck is Metatron?
Metatron? Well, there's 2 ways. So one, Metatron's an angel in God's army of angels, but also it's a YouTube channel that recently defended the historical Jesus.
Okay.
So I've broken his video out into 2 different videos that we're going to do one week, one another week. So on Monday, we're going to be analyzing him covering the historical case for Jesus. And then we've also got a video that claims to debunk the idea that there's no evidence for God. So we got those 2 videos next week. I hope to see you guys there.
And the Daily Bible Podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we've got the Daily Bible Podcast. We've got the Skeptic Mafia Podcast.
If you're a member.
Mm-hmm.
You forget to pimp the Daily Bible Podcast. And I don't know. It's a good show.
It is. It's a funny show. I have my fun at the very beginning of it to draw people in or to run people off.
I would be interested in looking at the metrics for the shows to see if people drop off after the first 5 to 7 minutes. I wouldn't blame you if you did.
No, I do that debate Christians because I'm just waiting. It's happened to me on Twitter. On Twitter, I'll say something stupid about the Bible, and they're like, "Is this what you really think? Because that's dumb." And it's not. They go into this long explanation about how I'm wrong, and I'm like, I was joking.
I realize there's not a trailer park in the Bible.
Oh, man. But yes, Daily Bible Podcast posts on Tuesdays. The Skeptic Mafia Podcast posts on Wednesdays. The regular videos get posted on Mondays and Thursdays, and then Fridays is our live show. It's a pretty standard schedule that we have every week. So I hope you guys enjoy all the content we got coming next week, and I guess we'll see you guys later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. That's a Bud Light pumpkin spice talking. Y'all have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on Monday. Later, heathens.
Bye, y'all.
Hold on, I forgot we got this.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Here we go.